This is a production of SDPB.
Touchdown! This is for a state championship. Oh, drop kick, and it's good!
There's going to be some highlights coming off of this.
The short-range jumper.
Edging out in lane for the top seed.
This South Dakota High School State Championship event is conducted under the direction of the South Dakota High School Activities Association.
Welcome to the Summit Arena at the Monument here in Rapid City. It's the site of the 2026 South Dakota High School AA Girls Basketball Tournament. I'm Craig Maddock, along with Holly Severson. And Holly, it's the night coaches and players love, especially when they're here, semifinal night.
Right, Friday night is that night that everyone looks forward to playing in, and we're going to see a contrast of styles tonight. Should be a good one.
When you look at the schedule that we got coming up tonight, our first semifinal will feature the top seed, undefeated Brandon Valley Lynx. Here's what happened earlier today. In the consolation semifinals, Stevens took out T area, and then Mitchell over Jefferson. And here's what's coming up tonight. It is Brandon Valley and Aberdeen. Can O'Gorman three-peat? They're the number 2 seed. They've beaten Brandon Valley in the last 2 years in the finals. So there's some drama coming up tonight amongst these 4 teams. First up, Aberdeen Central and Brandon Valley. For Aberdeen Central, making their 29th appearance to the State Girls Basketball Tournament. First time, though, that the Golden Eagles have been here since 2022. A couple of titles for the Golden Eagles, and both of those titles featured the current head coach because she was playing on those 2 championship squads during the season.
Yes, she was playing along with a few of her assistant coaches as well.
During the season, take out Stevens and Jefferson and Mitchell, teams that are here at the state tournament. Starting lineups for the Golden Eagles.
Yes, the Golden Eagles start Ava Kieski, senior point guard, has been real steady for them. Kennedy Withers, Emma Dorr, Lauren Burkhardt and Taryn Hermanson, each with 13 and 16 last night. And you're going to see a contrast of styles. Aberdeen really look to work that high-low action with Burkhardt and Hermanson. Had so much success with it yesterday.
This is the First Dakota National Bank starting lineups and the head coach of Aberdeen Central, Peyton Burkhardt. How about that? She's also coaching her younger sister on the squad. And the Golden Eagles will take on the top seed, the Brandon Valley Lynx. Brandon Valley undefeated at 22-0. They're making their 21st appearance to the state tournament. 3rd straight, though, for the Lynx. 2 titles for the Lynx. The last one was back in 2019. They've had 3 runner-ups as well. They did beat O'Gorman early in the season. People have been talking about that one ever since. Starting lineups, the First Dakota National Bank starting lineups.
Brandon Valley's got a lot of experience in their starting lineups with their leader, Olivia Paget, 5'7" senior. She had 36 yesterday in the opening round versus T. They're going to be looking to get up and pressure. Gracie Salter, 12.7 rebounds yesterday. London Geaver with 18.
Over the past 5 years, there's Mike Zur, the head coach. Over the last 5 years, Brandon Valley is 4-1 against Aberdeen Central, and these 2 teams have not met each other in the state basketball tournament over the last 5 years. Follow SDPB Sports on your mobile device. Check us out on Facebook, Twitter, and Instagram. Browse of all the action and award photos by searching SDPB on Flickr. Enjoy the video features, which features the teams, the kids, and the coaches of South Dakota. Let's meet the teams for our first semifinal match Here's Scotty Jensen.
Good evening, Summit Arena fans at the Monument in Rapid City, and everyone watching all over the world on SDPB. It's time for the semifinal session of the 2026 South Dakota State AA Girls Basketball Championships. The South Dakota High School Activities Association, along with its corporate partners, Sanford Health, Dakota Bank, Farmers Union Insurance, Billion Automotive, and the South Dakota Army National Guard are proud to welcome you to this semifinal session of the State AA Girls High School Basketball Tournament. The two teams playing in our first semifinal game are the Aberdeen Central Golden Eagles and the Brandon Valley Lynx. This tournament is being conducted under the guidance and regulation of the South Dakota High School Activities Association for the enjoyment and benefit of high school students. Good sportsmanship is essential for the success of these programs. We hope you'll enjoy the games and support your athletes in a positive and sportsman-like manner. And now, ladies and gentlemen, at this time, will you please stand as we honor America? The national anthem tonight will be performed by Poetry in Motion. We would remind all in attendance that the proper respect is to face the flag, remove your hat, and stand at attention with your right hand over your heart. Veterans and active duty military not in uniform may also salute the flag. Ladies and gentlemen, our national anthem.
Oh, say, can you see by the dawn's early light what so proudly we hailed at the twilight's last gleaming, whose broad stripes and bright stars through the perilous fight o'er the ramparts we watched were so gallantly streaming, and the rocket's red glare, the bombs bursting in air, gave proof through the night that our flag was still there. Oh, say does that star-spangled banner yet wave o'er the land of the free and the home of the brave?
Thank you, Poetry in Motion. And now, ladies and gentlemen, let's introduce our officials for our first semifinal game. The referee is Eric Grocott. Our umpires are Rusty Keith. And happy birthday to D'Amico Rodriguez. Ladies and gentlemen, let's introduce the head coaches for both teams. The head coach for the Aberdeen Central Golden Eagles is Peyton Burkhardt. The head coach for the Brandon Valley Lynx is Mike Zer.
Can't stop me now. I said I got you now. I'm right here at your door. I won't leave. I want more. Some danger. Come on, say what's up, danger.
And now, ladies and gentlemen, introducing the Channel Seed alternating starting lineups. For the Golden Eagles, a guard at 5'7", is senior number 20, Emma Dorr. For the Lynx, at guard at 5'7", senior number 20, Reese Condon. For the Golden Eagles, a forward at 6'1", a junior number 33, Lauren Burkhardt. For the Lynx, at guard at 5'7", senior number 32, Olivia Paget. And for the Golden Eagles, the center at 6'1", a senior number 44, Taryn Hermanson. And for the Lynx, a forward at 5'11", a senior number 40, Gracie Salter.
Holly, the keys for tonight for both clubs.
For Aberdeen, it will look very similar to the Stevens game. Stevens applied a lot of pressure in the backcourt on the ball handler. Expect Brandon to do the same. Aberdeen will need to take care of the ball and get shots to be able to be successful tonight. And for Brandon, their game plan does not change. Their motto, go 1-0. Whether it's in practice, game, school, whatever they're trying to do, just do it a little bit better every day and have fun along the way.
Last time they met was back late January. Brandon Valley won it 77-44. Here's Eric Grocott ready for the tip. And Olivia Paget with the ball. Watch out for her. Averaging 25 points a game. She had 36 last night.
Yeah,
Pull up from Salter.
Yeah, she's such a dynamic scorer. And then you have a kid like Gracie Salter. She can score inside and out. That three gives them a chance to set up in their press on this first possession for Aberdeen.
Paget will go to the line.
Nice hands there by Kellenberger. Keeping her head up. Paget seems to find her way to spots at the basket to be able to receive those passes and score.
Paget has been to the free throw line more than any other Lynx during the season. Over 140 free throws shot. At a 73% rate.
Yeah,
too.
also the Brandon's all-time leader in free throw percentage. She makes more than most people attempt.
This will be a huge key for Aberdeen Central tonight, taking care of the press. I think Brandon Valley caused 3 or 4 times T area to not get the ball over midcourt in 10 seconds. And Paget
picks up right where she left off yesterday against T. Not afraid to pull up and shoot. She shoots 44% from the three-point line.
might see this play a lot. The lob down to Hermanson. Hermanson had 16 points last night. When you got Taryn Hermanson at 6'1", you got Lauren Burkhardt at 6'1". It's a big challenge for teams. Good recovery by Dorr.
You see Aberdeen getting sped up just a touch. Coach Burkhardt coming out towards her team, letting them know, get your spacing down, take your time.
Paget with the foul, her first. Emma Dorr, here's one who wants, if the team is kind of getting shaky, she's the one that tries to keep it online. Wants to keep everything cool, not get out of the line. Foul on Withers, her first. In for Aberdeen Central is Camden Borg. Camden had 6 points in yesterday's game.
And she's also their team's best three-point shooter, 36%.
Kellenberger. Ava had a dozen last night. Here's the press now for the Lynx.
See, they're in that 2-2-1 with the vertical trap from behind.
Condon Reese with it. And that's going to stay with Brandon Valley.
And that's what Brandon wants with Aberdeen. They want them to try to dribble the ball up the sideline. They get past the first kid, but it's actually okay because that's where they're bringing the trap from.
Golden Eagles going man-to-man. That means Salter is up against Hermanson. There's Salter.
Great work.
Took her eyes off the ball. Oh, actually saved it.
It's the best kind of assist. Ball going out of bounds. Burkhardt had the presence of mind to not only save it, but throw it to her teammate.
Salter. That's her second tray.
Yep, right back at you is Gracie Salter, known as a rebounder, super underrated offensive player. She can facilitate and score.
Salter with the steal. Geever. Timeout. Up and down Brandon Valley with a very high pace first quarter here in the semis.
We aren't meant to be still. And while you determine the direction you'll go, we're just here to help you along the way. So go. Go with experience. Go with teamwork. Go with neighbors. Go with integrity.
Brandon Valley brought a nice crowd tonight. So did Aberdeen. A nice look here in Rapid City.
No blackout theme going for Brandon. Good job following the attire by the students.
Rebound there by Burkhardt. And Lauren, 8 years younger than her sister slash head coach, Peyton Burkhardt. That's key for Aberdeen Central to keep down the turnovers, because they know the pressures are going to be coming not only in their end, but in the backcourt.
You're right, Craig. And on that play, Yeski's trying to get the ball inside off the dribble. Just too many bodies in there.
Geever, check that. Yeski, a couple of threes last night. Aberdeen Central only went 3 for 14 beyond the arc last night.
They're typically not a team that relies a lot on the three-point shot. Shooting 14 is a lot for them.
The floater. Hermanson had, 15 boards, 16 boards last night, going with 16 points. She's going to need that kind of performance again tonight. There's Hermanson, the lob to the other 6'1" post player, Burkhardt. And Lauren will go to the line.
And that's the look that their coaches have been waiting for. Able to get that defensive rebound and push it ahead enough to get set up in an offense. Hermanson with the late trail is able to catch it and feed it to Burkhardt, who was patiently waiting.
In for Aberdeen Central is Ava Yeski. Hermanson comes out.
That spacing is going to be ultra important for Aberdeen in the half court on offense.
Paget. Feed to Giever. And Burkhardt. She's a junior. Just a very interesting relationship between Lauren and her sister, the coach.
Gotta get a little feisty with each other sometimes. They're both competitors for sure. Used to play some one-on-one, but don't do that anymore.
Paget draws the foul. Either Burkhardt or Dorr. They were both there. It's going to be on Burkhardt. Her first. In for Brandon Valley, Annika Peterson.
Annika Peterson for Brandon Valley into the game.
Lynx were 6 of 16 from the arc last night, all made by Giever. And there is Condon Salter.
Gracie Salter, yeah.
8 points.
Yeah, I feel like we say that a lot. That time Aberdeen was able to get the ball to the sideline. Gets a little press there. And then to Burkhardt in the middle, who could reverse it. Getting through that pressure. Brandon in the zone, looking to trap on the wings.
Tough to go inside. Left-handed
pass
throw
ahead.
up to Kellenberger in the layup.
It's a nice assist there from Paget.
See her throw that with the left hand.
She had time to think about it. She was deciding, might do it with 2 or 1. Just a lot of space for her to operate.
Burkhardt going up against Salter. And the push by Withers.
So you see
Fouls number 12, Kennedy
Salter
Withers.
with the left, a lefty.
14 fouls. Substitutions include
Throws it ahead.
Brandon Valley.
That's just the kind of stuff that Paget does. 3 assists a game
Central. Also,
on the
Cameron
season
Albrecht.
to go with 3 steals, 4 rebounds, 25.5 points. She fills up the stat sheet for sure.
Yeah, the numbers are big. Here's Kellenberger. And Dorr coming out with it.
Gonna be 1 shot for Aberdeen. Coach getting them set up for the final play of the first quarter.
Had a good look. Good look by Yeski.
Still
Her
5
second
seconds
break.
left here for Brandon.
No basket. Hold on, foul.
Yep, I think she's gonna get 2 shots.
One ref was saying jump ball, the other one foul. So we're gonna shoot free throws. Oh, foul on Hermanson.
Hermanson for Aberdeen Central.
And it'll be Paget at the line to shoot 2.
Brandon took the ball out of that net with 6 seconds left. That's a lot of time for Paget to get down the court and get to the basket. Aberdeen not able to get back and stop the ball.
If you're Aberdeen, Paget is not the person you want shooting free throws. 7 points for Paget in the first quarter, and the Lynx with a 10-point lead after one.
South Dakota, a state shaped by its people. It's more than a place, it's opportunity waiting to be realized. At South Dakota State University, opportunity is turned into progress. Through research, education, and a community that inspires, SDSU drives the future of this state. We're not just here, we're taking action with purpose, trust, and impact. This is SD State.
Aberdeen Central cheerleaders making the trip to Rapid. Aberdeen Central shooting 3 of 7 from the floor. Brandon Valley is 6 of 16, 7 of 17, and a bank.
Hermanson there daring Salter to shoot.
That's her third 3.
She put enough on it. It's okay if it's long. Give it a chance, right? Off the glass for 3.
Door. Oh, great pass to Paget.
Right on the line right there. Tell you what, Coach Traphagen and the Cougars there at USF got a steal, and Gracie Salter, she'll be a very good player for them.
What does Aberdeen Central have to do right now? Seeing themselves behind here early. There's a good play. They've been doing that a lot, but they got blocked. Back to Hermanson, blocked again.
A lot of it is just staying with it, weathering the storm. Little things like catching the ball with your knees bent and just being really strong with it. All those little things would be real important in this game.
Annika Peterson down low, helping Salter go up against Hermanson. That one got blocked. Aberdeen Central has seen the success, Holly, of passing down low to Hermanson. That time, Brandon Valley getting a lot of help from Salter and Peterson against the 6'1" Hermanson.
Brandon's putting so much pressure on the ball at every position. It really makes it hard to pass, especially that high-low pass. If they're going to do it, they have to do it quickly, and they have to establish their position when the ball reversal happens.
Yeski did a good job following her shot, and now we'll go to the line.
And that's no knock on Aberdeen. This is the kind of thing that Brandon has been doing to their opponents all year, right? They get up in the full court, they pressure hard in the half court, they extend their defense well beyond the three-point line. They have the athletes on the team to do it, they have the depth on their bench.
Eight points for Yeski. She had 9 in the game yesterday. Give and go to Salter. Where are they going to go? Where are they going to go? They're looking for Hermanson. There's a good drive, but too strong.
It's a good shot for them. Just didn't fall there by Hermanson. Established herself in the post.
Paget.
Olivia Paget.
Paget that time rebounding one of Salter's misses. It goes both ways. Those two work together. Brandon in that zone. Aberdeen a little slow to move the ball around. Brandon just sitting on the low post. We've got about 5 seconds left on the shot clock.
Timeout. So far in this second quarter, Brandon Valley has scored 7 points to just 2 for the Eagles. So we're halfway through the second quarter.
Reading opens every door to learning, opportunity, and understanding. The South Dakota Department of Education is strengthening literacy outcomes for students across our state, helping educators connect classroom instruction to the science of how children learn to read and write. Through professional support and shared resources, schools are building strong foundation in literacy for every learner. South Dakota Department of Education, learning, leadership, service.
You're committed to building relationships, to exceeding expectations, to serving your community. Your financial partner should share your vision and your values. For 130 years, we've stood by South Dakotans. We've been there, we'll be there. Convenient, connected, committed. Bank West, member FDIC.
Nice to have you with us on semifinal night. Our first game of the night. A couple of ESD teams here going at it. There's Peyton Burkhardt, the head coach. She was on the 2016 and 18 state championship teams. That 16 team had Brianna Kusler on that team as well. And of course, Brianna coached at Pierre for the boys for a few years.
Played for the legendary Don Seiler there in Aberdeen.
Another bank. That's Gracie's second bank. Not that we're keeping track.
She's just doing that on purpose now to show you that she can. She heard us the first time. You see Kellenberger come way out in that zone, really trying to discourage that reversal pass.
Ball was kicked. It will be Aberdeen ball. Yeski with 8 points. Hermanson with 2. Burkhardt with 1. That's what Aberdeen has done here in the first half.
Aberdeen's getting the ball back here, baseline out of bounds. They've had some success with cuts to the basket. Here looking to feed it from the wing.
That was a block by Salter.
Yeah, Hermanson now 1 for 5 from the floor.
Paget with 13. And that foul will be on Condon.
Brandon Valley, that's her first.
In for Aberdeen Central is Camden Borg.
Back on the court for Aberdeen Central, Camden Borg.
Gives the Golden Eagles just a little bit smaller lineup. Burkhardt averages 12 a game, hasn't touched the ball too much here. Let's see if they try to go to her on this offensive possession. Darcy's got it.
A lot of defensive attention on her this evening.
And the three from Yeski. She is, what, 3 for 3, 3 for 4 from beyond the arc tonight. Kellenberger with the feed to Condon. Foul on Borg. Her first.
That's her first. First team
So
foul.
maybe they're going to say she got Salter there on that rebound attempt. A little push.
Great pass to Paget.
Olivia Paget.
Salter to Paget.
Seen a lot of that. Both good at keeping their eyes up, knowing where each other's going to go.
That time it's going to be Condon with the foul. She picks up 2 quick fouls.
And those are some things Brandon can clean up defensively. They've got the trap they want there. Real close to half court. The ball handler is going to have to turn or either pick it up. And that second defender is right there. But sometimes you just get a little greedy. And you want to just steal it instead of letting that offensive player just kind of turn it over on her own.
Hermanson back in for Aberdeen Central. Borg to Burkhardt. The quick release and a swish. Her first basket of the game, and it comes with under 2 minutes to go in the half. Kellenberger.
Ava Kellenberger.
You think you got to watch out for Paget, you got to watch out for Salter, then all of a sudden you got Kellenberger who comes in there.
Right, and you might mistake her for just a defensive player, a disruptor who gets tips and deflections, but she can also slash in there, deep 3 shooter.
And Burkhardt is going to get the foul.
Burkhardt's starting to get awfully frustrated here. She needs to watch it. Watch.
Number 33, Lauren
Her second.
Her second team foul. 2 shots.
That's 2. They're going to need her to stay in the game mentally. Be a leader for her team.
Substitution is Eva Yeski.
Yeski, who has hit 3 threes in the game, she is back in.
Yeah, it's a tough call. You see both Paget's hands go up on that shot. Makes you thinking, she get her? But whatever it is, you got to keep playing. All players know that. Of course, that's really easy for me to say sitting here in this comfortable chair, but
big time hit there. Withers. Aberdeen Central getting another player to help out on the scoring. Under a minute to go here in the half. And that's going to go to Brandon Valley. Brandon Valley, 3 turnovers in the half. Aberdeen Central with 10. Paget. One of the few times that Paget has missed. In the corner, that's Yeski, and Ava is on fire. 4 threes in the game. She is what? 4 for 6 from beyond the arc. Now last shot for the Lynx. Screen by Salter. Paget, yes. Olivia Paget at the buzzer. And a big first half for the Lynx. They score 19 points in the first half, and they score 20 in the first quarter and 20 points in the second quarter. And they lead Aberdeen Central 39-22. Holly Stevenson is with the head coach, Mike Zur.
Coach Zur, your team really set the tone coming out early defensively. What do you like about your team?
Just buying into a plan. They're so good inside, and we got to continue to find them. Yeski girls hit some shots. She's had a great weekend shooting the ball. We got to continue to find her. When we're not packing the paint to try to take away those threats inside. Right.
As you go into the second half, anything in particular you're looking to see?
We just got to move the ball a little bit better offensively. We got to find some screens and not settle. We got some bank threes that are nice, and that sort of thing. Fun to see those go down, but we got to find some more quality looks there.
Yeah, Salter's doing that on purpose now,
Yep.
Thanks, Coach. Back to you, Craig.
More to come from Rapid City as the top seed and undefeated Lynx with a really good first half.
You live life on the move. While you determine what direction that may be, we're here to help along the way. So go. Go with values. Go with friends. Go with support. Go with convenience.
Bioethanol supplies more than just energy. It creates jobs in rural communities. It drives demand for local corn. It provides opportunities for family farms to thrive. To ensure agriculture plays a leading role in the efforts to decarbonize and transition energy, bioethanol remains at the forefront of a pursuit for a cleaner, brighter future for all Americans. Learn how at sdethanol.com.
Powering the possibilities of tomorrow starts today. For our homes, our farms, our businesses. That's why our Touchstone Energy Cooperative continually plans for the future by utilizing and sourcing safe, reliable power for the next generation. So we can power possibilities long into the future. Touchstone Energy Cooperatives, powering possibilities.
Welcome back to Rapid City, AA Girls Basketball Tournament. Semifinal night as the top seed Lynx leading Aberdeen Central. Ashlyn Carlo Blunt is one of the best girls basketball players in the state. Now next year she'll continue playing hoops at the University of South Dakota. She took some time though on the eve of this year's State A tournament to talk about her legacy as a high school player for Mokpialuta here in South Dakota.
I want people to remember my smile on the court. I feel like I try to always have a smile on my face, because I love this sport and I'm really thankful to be able to healthy and be able to play and to represent my people. And I feel like I just want the people to remember me as a good player, not only on the court but off the court. I hope that when I play, my personality shines through, and I teach people to play with good sportsmanship and to play with thankfulness and to play with love for the game and for your teammates and for yourself and for the people watching you. I hope that's what showed from my career, and I can't believe there's only 3 more games left of me in a Mokpialuta jersey. I get a little sad when I think about it, but I've made a lot of great memories and a lot of good friendships with these years, and so I couldn't be more thankful and blessed.
Good stuff from Ashlyn. Now, Mokpialuta is playing Sioux Falls Christian tonight at the State A tournament. Of course, remember, that's a rematch of last year's A championship. That game was played up in Spearfish a year ago, where Sioux Falls Christian defeated Mokpialuta, but might be different this year. Boy, I tell you what, Mokpialuta has done a great job this year. Should be a fun game, and great stuff from Ashlyn Carlo Blunt. You can find more of these stories and video. Check them out. The content, check out on SDPB Sports on Facebook, X, and Instagram. Halftime of our semifinals with the Lynx and the Eagles here in Rapid City.
What does primary care mean to us? At Sanford Health, it means being there when and where you need it most. It means building a relationship, because when a provider really knows you, they can deliver the best care for every aspect of your health and your life. So what does primary care mean for you? It means understanding your health for today and for where you're headed next. It means a lifetime of care for a lifetime of you.
Creating a legacy means different things to everyone. For us, it's about family, watching my daughter follow in my footsteps, passing the farm onto her, and working side by side every day. It's about building something that lasts. Agtegra Cooperative has been by our side through it all, supporting us from one generation to the next. Agtegra Cooperative, legacy rich, future focused for generations to come.
For over 55 years, Muth Electric has been powering progress across the Midwest. Our team of professionals deliver electrical solutions with innovation and safety at the core. We work with purpose, knowing that each project contributes to something bigger. Muth Electric, a partner in building a brighter future since 1970.
Our Peterson Farm Seed Reps real-life seed heroes, well, they've been known to go the extra mile, literally thousands of extra miles every year. And when they're not driving gravel roads, they're out walking fields and sampling soil. When time is the enemy, they're there to save what's left of the day. Are all Peterson Farm Seed Reps seed heroes? I guess that's a yes. Peterson Farm Seed, we're that kind of seed company.
Let's look at the first half highlights. Brandon Valley got out to an 8-0 run to start this game to get 3-point shots from Gracie Salter and Olivia Pageant. Brandon Valley with 5 threes in that first half, but Aberdeen Central, they also had 5 threes in the first half.
They did. They've taken 11. Almost as many as they took yesterday in the entire game against Stevens. And that's a function of Brandon's defense. They've been taking away paint touches and opportunities, forcing Aberdeen to take shots from the perimeter. You see Yeski there knocking one down. She was 4 of 6, as you mentioned, Craig, from 3. Aberdeen's got 10 turnovers to Brandon's 3. They're paced by 19 points from Paget, 14 from Salter. Brandon has a team shooting 47%. They've got 30 attempts to Aberdeen's 18. They're +7 on the glass, +7 on turnovers, and 6 for 6. Brandon's looking like they're in March mode right now.
And they have held Aberdeen Central's 2 biggest scorers to 4 points and 2 points in the first half.
Yeah, so much pressure on the ball, and we know Burkhardt and Hermanson like that elbow area, the short corner to the block area, and that's where all the Brandon kids are, right? Just making it really difficult, not only being in the right spot, but also playing with their hands up. Such an underrated thing defensively is to get those hands up. Makes tall people taller, makes short people a little taller too,
I'll
right,
remember
Craig?
that. I'll remember that.
Yeah, Brandon's defense has really set the tone so far in this game.
It will be interesting to see what Aberdeen does coming out of the locker room. What kind of tempo they want. How aggressive are they going to be?
Right, and I think if you're Aberdeen, if you can get the ball moving side to side a little bit quicker, Brandon is really extending some of that top of their zone. If you could get it reversed, you might be able to hit the high post area, a free throw line area a little quicker. Look for shots from there, which then might free up the low block a little bit more. But that's a tall task. Brandon has brought their defense today they'll have to make shots. There's not a lot of room to miss today, the way that Brandon is scoring.
Both teams going back to their original starters. Brandon Valley with Kellenberger, Giever, Condon, Paget, Salter. And Aberdeen Central, Yeski, Withers, Dorr, Burkhardt, and Hermanson. Zone defense here by the Lynx.
They found the hole there.
There's an aggressive drive by Withers.
That little drive opened up the short corner area.
And Salter picks up her first.
Yeah, you see there Withers just finding that open area. Ready to catch and score.
Kennedy went 4 for 4 yesterday in the game, and their first trip to the free throw tonight. Aberdeen Central has only shot 4 free throws in the game. I would assume they would love to be shooting a few more.
Yeah, Withers second on the team in free throw percentage with 71, right behind Dorr, who shoots 75.
3 points for Withers in the game. Paget and Salter, the 1-2 punch here for Brandon Valley. 19 and 14 points, respectively.
What a catch there by Kellenberger.
Great. What did Gracie Salter have for lunch today?
I don't know, but I'm a little disappointed that she didn't try to use the 45-degree angle. Maybe she forgot her protractor. I want to see another bank butt.
That was a block by Giever. Now Giever on the run out.
Yeah, another nice push ahead here by Brandon.
And she takes it the distance. London with her first basket.
London averaged 5.5 points. She's known as a shooter, but can also put the ball on the floor. Yeah, Brandon's almost daring Withers to take that shot.
Inside to Burkhardt, and the foul on Salter, her second, and Burkhardt will go to the line.
Foul on number 40, Gracie Salter for Brandon Valley.
The feeling is, you know, maybe for Aberdeen Central, maybe that's putting some pressure on them. But virtually, they gotta make baskets every time they touch the ball for a while to get a string going, get some confidence going.
They really do, and a lot of times, Craig, that success on offense starts to fuel your defense, right? You start to play with a little more confidence, play a little more loose, got some high fives going. Get the crowd going a little bit.
6 points for Burkhardt.
They've got their tropical stuff on here today.
The students, yeah.
Yeah, it's very optimistic. Given the current forecast.
Still is winter, you know, here.
I like it.
Oh. Feed to Salt. Oh, missed the bunny.
We're so used to that going in. Rare time there where that connection didn't result in a basket.
Here's the basketball skills of Burkhardt there, traveling down the center of the court. Gets the finish, though, by Hermanson. She's got 2 baskets. Did Burkhardt pick up her third? She did. Lauren Burkhardt, her third foul. And quickly off the bench comes Camden Borg. As Paget at the line.
Annika Peterson returns for
And Burkhardt is going to come out.
You see Brandon so good, even off that made basket by the Golden Eagles, they're able to push the ball ahead, get all the way to the basket, especially there with Paget to the left side, getting a little head of steam. Really hard to stop. Maybe you make her try to go right there, maybe step up a little higher, have her make a decision sooner. I mean, chances are she's probably still gonna get a good shot off, but gotta do a little something to disrupt her flow.
Borg will go to the line. Well, the Golden Eagles being aggressive, coming down the lane.
Number 42.
Yeah, absolutely. If there's an opportunity, any kind of daylight,
2 shots for Camden Ward.
You want to take it at the basket.
Peterson with her second foul. Golden Eagles went 14 of 22 from the free throw line in their win over Rapid City Stevens.
It's smart by Brandon Valley. They don't need to be rushing anything. They can take their time.
Paget and the foul by Withers.
It's like Weathers took that one to the teeth.
Third, second team foul in the quarter. Olivia Paget, 2 free throws.
Here's Paget again, back at the line.
Substitution
For Brandon Valley, Gwen Lease.
Brandon Valley.
Paget 7 of 8 from the foul line, make it 8 for 9.
21 points.
And 21 points on just 11 shots. It's a very efficient scorer.
Who's going to take up the scoring when Burkhardt is on the bench with 3 fouls? Timeout here in Rapid City.
Your Great Plains Case IH dealers know that hard work starts early, in the field and on the field or the court. Dedication, teamwork, pride, the values driving farmers also power South Dakota athletes. Growing crops or growing champions, it takes the same drive to succeed. Your local Great Plains Case IH dealers know the future is built by showing up day after day, ready to work, ready to win. Great Plains Case IH dealers, supporting schools, athletes, and the communities we grow.
At Southeast Technical College, you won't just study for a career, you'll live it. Training in classrooms that look, feel, and operate just like the real world. Because the best way to do what you learn is to learn by doing. Get your degree, get to work at Southeast Technical College.
Hey, buddy.
That's a nice look at the Summit Arena here at the Monument in Rapid City. Head coach Mike Zur in his 7th year with the Lynx.
You see Mike Zur, yes, his 11th year overall in Brandon. Spent some time on the boys' side. He's an Aberdeen native, last year state runner-up. This year, undefeated team, only undefeated season in history. And if you were lucky enough to be here before the game, you got to hear a little karaoke from Coach Zur, also a very good singer. The Brandon team, as a matter of fact, they fancy themselves a musical squad. They like to play instruments, they like to sing on the bus. They have a lot of fun together, and a lot of that has to do with music.
Coach Zur, yeah, he's a really good singer.
He is.
Really good.
Ask him if he's ever walked in Memphis.
Ah, he'll like that. Peterson there in the corner. Here's the 3 ball. Oh! London Geaver. London gave her the top 3-point shooter. She had 6 in the game yesterday. That's her first today.
Yes, I also forgot to mention, how could I forget? Coach Zur is also the offensive coordinator for the Brandon football team.
Hermanson. Oh, nice spin move with the ball.
Good for them to see the ball go through the basket, especially from Hermanson.
foul on the Golden Eagles. Aberdeen will bring in Kennedy Withers. Foul's going to be on Yeski, her second.
14th foul.
Salter back in for Brandon Valley.
And Kennedy Withers.
That will go at Aberdeen Central.
Probably there you see Gwen Lee's trying to feed that over the top instead of getting her knees bent and delivering a bounce pass. That's a tough angle.
Dorr with the shot, and Dorr will go to the line. Emma Dorr, 75% free throw shooter. Gwen Lease with the foul.
2 shots for Emma Dorr.
Emma Dorr, normally chosen to guard the other team's best player. She's going to go to Lake Area Tech next year, and she's not too bad of a golfer. Would love to spend more time at Lee Park Golf Course, I think. Good drive by Salter. Salter has had a fabulous game. She averages 12. She had a dozen last night in the win, and now here she is, 18 points. She's made 4 threes, and kind of got things kick-started to start the game with a 3.
Yeah, she's a stat line stuffer, whether it's rebounding, points, steals, or assists. She averages 3 assists a game, 2.5 steals, 9 rebounds, 12 points, shoots 59%.
Travel.
She does a lot of things well. Her coach calls her the best rebounder he's ever coached. In their 16 game, she had 13 offensive rebounds.
Brandon Valley brings in Jalissa Parker. And Parker will get called for the push. And Burkhardt will shoot free throws.
15 foul. 2 shots for Lauren Burkhardt.
Brandon Valley has done a fabulous job of keeping Burkhardt away from the bucket, preventing her from taking shots. She's only taken, what, 6 shots here in the whole game. And here we are near the end of the third. Normally averaging a dozen, she has just picked up her 9th point.
Yeah, just 6 shots from the floor.
Offensive foul. That one will go against Salter. And Gracie picks up her 3rd.
Get Aberdeen going a little bit. See Burkhardt come over, establish that legal guarding position. Take the foul right through the center of her chest.
Dorr is in trouble.
Good pass ahead.
A block by Peterson. And off the leg of Aberdeen.
Substitution, Olivia Paget.
Pageant back in for the Lynx. Hermanson back in for the Golden Eagles.
Yes, a nice block there by Peterson. She's their energy person, whether it's on the bench or on the court. She's always positive. Her teammates call her a cheerleader. They love playing with her.
Peterson. Withers. Burkhardt. Hermanson will go to the line.
She says it's about time. That was one of the shortest post-entry passes I think I've ever seen. That was about a, I don't know, 2-foot pass there from Burkhardt to Hermanson, but it didn't matter. She got it where she wanted to go. Hermanson was able to collect herself and get to the other side of the basket to go up for that. And it's been a tough go for her today. 3 for 8 from the floor.
First trip to the free throw line tonight.
Yep, she's got 6 points. Just been facing a lot of resistance from this Brandon defense, who has been keying on her after they saw her performance with 16 points, 16 rebounds yesterday against Stevens.
Aberdeen ball. 7 turnovers for the Lynx. Dorr looking at the press. And a timeout by Peyton Burkhardt. Full timeout with the Lynx in the lead.
Protecting crops. Agronomy Plus in Mitchell, Rock Creek in Howard, and Valley Station at Armour provide agronomy services, fertilizer products, and crop analysis systems, including Agronomy 365. This system helps manage your field's performance, supporting small-town communities while hiring and training local youth. Agronomy Plus in Mitchell, Rock Creek in Howard, and Valley Station in Armour, serving area producers and their communities.
Great to have you with us tonight. Semi-final night. STPB's coverage of high school sports and activities made possible through the generous support of viewers like you. Contribution today helps support the broadcast of events like the basketball championships. Make a donation today by visiting sdpb.org/donate. And we thank you for your support. Hermanson with a nice touch. And Taryn has 4 baskets, a total of 9 points. Cross. Paget. That's Parker. A rebound by Hermanson. Burkhardt, the step back for 3. Oh. Kennedy Withers picking up her 3rd.
Kennedy Withers, her 4th.
You got Burkhardt and Withers, 2 starters with 3 fouls.
Bonus free throws.
And Parker will go to the line. Jalissa, very good free throw shooter at 71%. Condon back in for Brandon Valley, and it is Albrecht in for Aberdeen Central. Two points for Parker. Trying for maybe a heave-ho here. Oh, make it a close one. Yes!
Great pass.
Kellenberger with her 8th point to end the 3rd quarter as the Lynx trying to get to the state title game for the 3rd straight year.
Is it the competition that keeps bringing you back? The long-standing rivalries? Or is it seeing friends again and cheering on your favorite team? At First Dakota, we're here for all of it. We appreciate the fans, the players, the coaches and officials, the concessions crew. The shared community experience is part of what makes life here great. And we're here for all of it. See you at the game.
South Dakota, a state shaped by its people. It's more than a place, it's opportunity waiting to be realized. At South Dakota State University, opportunity is turned into progress. Through research, education, and a community that inspires, SDSU drives the future of this state. We're not just here, we're taking action with purpose, trust, and impact. This is SD State.
Brandon Valley crowd here in Rapid City. They are seeing a pretty good performance by their top seed Lynx. Final quarter. This Paget leading the way for Brandon Valley. Kellenberger. Eighth turnover for Brandon Valley. If I remember, I think they were under 10 last night, too. Here's up, Paget.
Olivia Paget.
Paget just keeps
24?
Yep, keeps going at it. They continue to throw the ball ahead and get great looks there.
Kellenberger will pick up the foul.
Brandon Valley foul number 2.
And for Kellenberger, her first.
Team 1 for the fourth quarter.
Good job that time getting by the press. They still have 25 seconds to run an offensive play. Salter knocked that one away.
Yeah, that time by Aberdeen, no ball reversal, hard to enter off that pass. Hadn't had that zone loosened up at all.
Salter again. My, oh my. 5 trays, 21 points for Gracie Salter. Just sitting back there calmly and
That's
hitting
right.
the shot.
21 points on just 11 shots.
They'll stay with the Golden Eagles.
And check that as 22 points on 11 shots. Those are stats coaches love, Craig. When you tell me I've got a player that only takes 10 or 11 shots and has 20 points, that tells me not only is she shooting a high percentage, she's getting herself to the foul line. She's a fantastic stat line for her tonight.
I doubt she has went to Coach Zur and says, hey, I need to be shooting more. When you have Paget running the offense, and you got Kellenberger and Giever hitting from the outside.
Right, kids like Lease not afraid to shoot it. Peterson and Stokes.
For 20, Reese Condon. That's her third.
Salter has 6 threes. She needs 2 more to tie. 3-point shots made in the state tournament.
Oh, Craig, we love some
the record
records.
is 8.
Love some records.
Paget. Oh, behind the back! Oh! Well, you got to make the shot if you're going to make the highlight reel there and there, right?
Why not? Their coach tells them over and over, and we're playing and having fun, right? So here you got Paget.
That may have just
I'll tell you
surprised
what,
her.
they're going to give Ava a hard time for missing that one.
Ava may have just been surprised that it was coming that way. This is going to stay with Brandon Valley.
The girls' class B, Ethan, 54, Corsica skipping 34. Ethan will play for the title tomorrow night.
I don't know all the games you played. Did you ever do a behind the back pass?
Yeah, shortly after, I think I found myself on the bench for quite some time.
Oh. Okay, that was early. That was early there. I'll let you learn.
No, I don't know. I don't remember. We like to have a lot of fun. Basketball's meant to be fun, right? Just want to make sure you don't turn it over.
Camden Borg, that's her third, team 1. Substitution, Kennedy Withers.
Camden Borg on the foul.
Stokes for Brandon Valley.
And here comes Kellenberger out. Getting a hand from everybody. Paget Oh, being aggressive.
Yes, operating with her back to the basket in the post. And that feed came off a really nice pass from Paget to the corner, just on a rope.
Borg being chased.
Yes, Brandon continuing that vertical trap.
Up to Paget. The pressure just doesn't stop.
That time, Brandon not fouling while chasing her down from behind, just waiting for Borg to either pick up the ball or turn around and head back up the sideline to trap her there.
Timeout. Brandon Valley looking like the #1 seed tonight.
For your little ones and your biggest joys. Or your forever friends. And your fur kids, too. For your better half. Or your all-time bestie. For the reasons you smile, there's coverage. With dental and vision insurance from Delta Dental of South Dakota and Delta Vision.
SDPB brings you the South Dakota Boys State Basketball Tournament. You can catch all the action Thursday, March 19th through Saturday, March 21st. For more information, including the multiple ways to watch the games live, go to sdpb.org/basketball. Complete coverage of the South Dakota Boys State Basketball Tournament is brought to you by Dakota Bank and SD Corn.
Here's Dorr for Aberdeen Central. Oh, and that was blocked by Paget. Good tip away by Hermanson.
The score is 6-7.
Oh, we've got the 6-7 on the scoreboard. Mr. Jensen had to mention it. I don't think the high schoolers are that into it. I think they're over it.
Another steal. Paget will finish.
Yes, you can see there, Yeski trying to foul her.
We have a timeout now with Brandon Valley.
Attention, friendly reminder to fans and members of the media. Any individual winners playing surface for all contests.
Coach Zur was a volunteer assistant to Coach Brent Deckert with the Brandon Valley boys for 2 years. One of those years they won the state, or they were a state runner-up. Today's the anniversary of Coach Deckert's passing. It was 2 years ago. Coach Zur says it feels like 2 minutes. People like Coach Deckert never really leave. Coach Zur says they're always around with the mark that they left on us. He was a great mentor for Coach Zur. Both the people on the floor and their influence, everybody that got to coach alongside Brent Deckert is very fortunate in their community, and those that knew him, how they carry on his legacy and keep telling his stories. His mantra as a coach was TGHT, which stands for the game honors toughness, and there's no doubt that this year's Brandon girls embodies that item. Coach Zur still hears his voice in his head often, things like, you want to win? Get a rebound. Stop giving up high post jumpers in the zone. All those little things that Coach Deckert used to say to him that he carries with him into each practice and each game.
Burkhardt with her second 3 of the game. Give to Burkhardt. And off the window. Burkhardt now with 13.
Brandon able to get some reserves in here, trying to set up in their offense, work the ball around. They've got plenty of time. They can use all the shot clock they need to.
5 to shoot. That's Parker. Aberdeen Central getting ready to bring some fresh players in. Hermanson with 11.
Timeout, Aberdeen Central.
And Brandon Valley brings in Nia Velema. Also coming in is Brooklyn Helgeson for Brandon Valley. Emma Langrock came in prior to this last timeout, but she is in, didn't mention her name. Now for Aberdeen Central, Ella Swanson comes in. Lucy Fritz going to report in. Get some players in who haven't seen the floor for a little bit. That's good.
Yeah, Brandon Valley with those 8 seniors. Give a chance to rotate some people in and out.
Cameron Albrecht for Aberdeen Central. Julia Molson. And Ashlyn Behrens. I think we have the players for Aberdeen Central in there. The Lynx, Autumn Peterson. Told you Helgeson's in there, Langrock's there. Vivian Thompson. And Nia Velema. Take the shots. I like it.
There you go.
They come off the bench.
Good rebound.
Put up the shots. The basket by Velema.
You love seeing the bench and the students go crazy on those shots.
Same thing here for Aberdeen Central. Let's get a shot at it. Get some shots. Get in the scorebook. There you go.
Craig wants to see some shots. Let's go. Good effort there by Albrecht.
90 seconds to go. Run down by Molson. Whoops, and to travel. In for Brandon Valley, Lauren Minion. Minion is a 5'6" sophomore.
Coach Decker just telling his team just to go, float, play. Craig telling him to shoot it.
Aberdeen Central ball. And you hear the crowd yelling, shoot it, shoot it. There's a shot. Off by Albrecht. Brandon Valley ball. Velema being guarded by Swanson. And the shot by Vivian Thompson. That's Fritz and a travel. Well, the Brandon Valley Lynx, they're going back to the championship game. It's going to be the 3rd year in a row for Brandon Valley. They've been runner-ups the last 2 years, but now as the top seed and undefeated, they're going back to the title game. An impressive 73-44 win. Brandon Valley getting 32 points from Padgett. 21 from Salter. 8 from Kellenberger. to lead the way. Meanwhile, for Aberdeen, Burkhardt with 15, Veski with 14, Hermanson with 11. The Eagles will play for third place tomorrow night.
Ladies and gentlemen, Warriors fans, are you ready?
Head coach Mike Zur in his 7th year. He is with Holly.
Fans, are you ready? Welcome to the floor. Give everybody an answer to the Sioux Falls, Washington Warriors.
Coach Zur, what was the favorite thing that you saw from your team tonight? So many things.
Just sit there having fun in the process. You know, it'd be very easy for a group like this that's been back, you know, now the 3rd year in a row to back to a state championship. They enjoy moments. You know, I mean, you got a senior banking in some threes. You've got a senior scoring at the end of the game that does everything right and plays a great role on our team. You know, and being unselfish, sharing it. You know, last night it's, you know, London stepping up. Tonight it's multiple. It's just a great group to coach, and I'm really proud of them, and I'm really excited that they have the opportunity to compete again.
It's an emotional day for you, I'm sure. This, you know, 2 years since Coach Decker's been here. If he were here, what would he be saying to you right now?
Take the high post away, please. Make sure you get a rebound. I'm extremely thankful that man was in my life. And when people pass away, they don't really leave if we keep telling their story. And Brent Deckert is one of one. He is truly one of the best people I've ever met. His wife Jill is here tonight. You know, father-in-law Ron Ryherd, who was an incredible coach. They are basketball through and through, but at the end of the day, it's how you treat people. And you know, he took me under his wing when I first came here, and I got to coach his daughter, and just an incredible human being. And I'm very thankful he was here, and I know he was proud that we actually got a rebound tonight.
A lot of reasons to be proud to be a Lynx tonight. Thanks, Coach.
Thank you.
Back to you, Craig.
The Lynx back to the championship game, and they'll take on the winner of our next game. Could it be Washington, or could it be O'Gorman? O'Gorman's the 2-time defending champs. We'll get that game still to come from Rapid City.
You kept us fed through tough times. And despite rising business costs, you keep doing what you love. Because you know you're making a difference. No matter the challenges, we're here to help you navigate the highs and lows to grow your business, to improve your land, or to buy new equipment. We all rely on you, and we're just happy to return the favor. Go with Allies. Go with trust. Go with Dakota Bank.
Nothing has embodied the American spirit like the family farmer. Year after year, they continue to work the land and plant their crops. Through droughts, floods, and uncertain markets, they keep that spirit alive with another crop harvested for the next generation. And for that, we tip our hats to them. Farmers Union Insurance, protecting those that protect America's food source.
Lake Area Technical College provides hands-on learning and practical experience in real-world environments. Prepare for a career right out of school from the moment you step on campus for an education that can really be put to work. Lake Area Tech is the start of something new.
SDPB brings you the South Dakota Boys State Basketball Tournament. You can catch all the action Thursday, March 19th through Saturday, March 21st. For more information, including the multiple ways to watch the games live, go to sdpb.org/basketball. Complete coverage of the South Dakota Boys State Basketball Tournament is brought to you by Dakota Bank and SD Corn.
Brandon Valley moves on to the championship game as they take out Aberdeen Central 73-44 in the second half highlights. Really same stuff from the first half. Pressure defense, taking the ball away, block shots. Then go the other end, and 8 threes made by Brandon Valley. They get 32 points from Paget, 22 from Salter. This is an impressive win for Brandon Valley. Brandon Valley folks said, yeah, we've seen this all year long.
Right, and I hope, I mean, I'm sure they don't, but just as a reminder, I hope Brandon doesn't take these two for granted. I know they get used to seeing them. You know, you're used to seeing Paget score and Salter do her thing, but kids like this just don't come along every day. Such efficiency, they play so hard and so well together.
Aberdeen Central, they were led by Burkhardt with 15, Yeski 14, Hermanson with 11. Get you ready for our second semifinal game when we come back.
Our Peterson Farm Seed Reps real-life seed heroes, well, they've been known to go the extra mile, literally thousands of extra miles every year. And when they're not driving gravel roads, they're out walking fields and sampling soil. When time is the enemy, they're there to save what's left of the day. Are all Peterson Farm Seed Reps seed heroes? I guess that's a yes. Peterson Farm Seed, we're that kind of seed company.
Educators across South Dakota are coming together to elevate, educate, and empower. This June, the Department of Education hosts the South Dakota Literacy Conference in Mitchell, a gathering dedicated to advancing the science of reading and sharing new insights into how students learn, exploring research and real-world strategies for South Dakota educators to move literacy forward for all learners. South Dakota Department of Education, learning, leadership, service.
You hear about work-life balance like it's a big equation you have to find the answer to. But I think it's much simpler than that. So simple it was right in front of us. Start with the life you want, and everything else will follow.
I'm Craig Maddock, along with Holly Severson here in Rapid City, the AA Girls Basketball Tournament semifinal night. When you get a chance, I'm inviting you to join me with my podcast. It's called In Play, where I talk to past coaches and players and administrators. And my latest podcast, Washington Warrior fans, the great Joelle Byrie, undefeated as a player in high school. Couple of state championships, went on to college, did pretty good there too, and then coached a little bit, and then became a great mom. Joelle Byrie Benson, what a great conversation with Joelle. All you have to do, go to sdpb.org/inplay for my interview with Joelle Byrie Benson.
Yes, and Joelle, the daughter of Elton Byrie, also coached by the legendary Joe Lockwood here in those days at Old Washington High, as we like to refer to it, downtown Sioux Falls.
We talk about her high school career. Again, they didn't lose a game when she was playing, and then they were playing the Yanktons and the Brookings, those really good teams back there in the mid to late 70s and early 80s, and just what she did in college and even doing some stuff in Europe as well. So great conversation with Joelle.
Sure, and if you're a fan of women's basketball, amongst other sports, you'll really enjoy Craig's podcast. Got to talk you up here, Craig. He interviews all kinds of women's basketball legends in our state. Really good stuff, Craig. Give it 5 stars.
I appreciate
Subscribe,
that.
follow.
I'm going to give you a quick tease. One of the greatest all-time multi-state athletes. We'll release that interview next week during the boys tournament.
A multi-sporter, huh?
Washington O'Gorman. We'll preview the matchup coming up.
Bank West is rooted in South Dakota. Committed to local success. Just like you. We're all connected. In South Dakota. For South Dakota. Convenient, connected, committed. Bank West.
What does primary care mean to us? At Sanford Health, it means being there when and where you need it most. It means building a relationship, because when a provider really knows you, they can deliver the best care for every aspect of your health and your life. So what does primary care mean for you? It means understanding your health for today and for where you're headed next. It means a lifetime of care for a lifetime of you.
Creating a legacy means different things to everyone. For us, it's about family, watching my daughter follow in my footsteps, passing the farm under her, and working side by side every day. It's about building something that lasts. Agtegra Cooperative has been by our side through it all, supporting us from one generation to the next. Agtegra Cooperative, legacy rich, future focused for generations to come.
Powering the possibilities of tomorrow starts today. For our homes, our farms, our businesses. That's why our Touchstone Energy Cooperative continually plans for the future by utilizing and sourcing safe, reliable power for the next generation. So we can power possibilities long into the future. Touchstone Energy Cooperatives, powering possibilities.
One more semifinal game coming your way. Sioux Falls, Washington, and the O'Gorman Knights. As you see, Brandon Valley undefeated and the top seed. We'll take on the winner of this game. O'Gorman and Brandon Valley have played the last 2 state championship games, with O'Gorman winning both. The Warriors, though, they come in as the number 3 seed. It is the 28th appearance by Washington at the girls basketball tournament. Their second straight, 8 titles overall, 1980 and 81. Those were the Joel Byrie years when they beat Canton and Yankton for the title. Their last title was at the Pentagon back in 2023 when they beat Beer. Starting lineups, it's the First Dakota National Bank starting lineups.
In this version of the Washington Warriors, from the corner of 3rd Street and Sycamore in Sioux Falls, we've got Berthe, Beitler, Kennett, Harp, and Peterson. A lot of balanced scoring you saw if you tuned into the Jefferson game. Beitler with 11, Kennett with 10. Harp led the way with 27 points on a variety of shots. She can score from a lot of different spots, and Jersey Peterson rounded out with 10.
The head coach, Jamie Parrish. Jamie won a title when he was at Vermilion, was at Centerville for a while, but he's been at Washington now for 12 years. And they'll take on the O'Gorman Knights. O'Gorman, now known as O'Gorman, not Sioux Falls O'Gorman, it's O'Gorman. 29th appearance by the Knights. It's their 17th straight appearance. The last 2 titles, they've won 3 of the last 4 championships. They have 5 in their history. 4 runner-ups. The First Dakota National Bank starting lineups for the Knights.
For the Knights, we'll see London Backus enter the starting lineup, the sophomore guard, averaging 6 points a game. Hayden Weber. No, I'm sorry, not Hayden Weber. Ruby Moore, Sydney Trevine, and Sadie Merman. Moore, the point guard, had 18 last night against Mitchell. Trevine also with 18. Merman, the lefty, paced him with 11. And the head coach for the Knights, Kent Colesrud, in his 28th season at O'Gorman, going for the three-peat.
You can follow SDPB Sports on your mobile device. Check us out on Facebook, Twitter, and Instagram. Let's meet the teams. Who's going to meet Brandon Valley in the finals? Here's Scotty Jensen.
Good evening, ladies and gentlemen. Welcome back to the Summit Arena here at the Monument in Rapid City, and everyone watching all over the world on SDPB. Game 2, the semifinal session of the 2026 State AA Girls High School Basketball Tournament. Tonight's second game is between the Sioux Falls, Washington Warriors and the O'Gorman Lady Knights. Let's introduce your officials for Game 2. The referee is Matt Paulson. The umpires are Landon Arnold and Chad Voskul. And now introducing the head coaches for each team. The head coach for the Sioux Falls, Washington Warriors is Jamie Parrish. And the head coach for the O'Gorman Lady Knights is Ken Colesrud.
Can't stop me now. I said I got you now. Right here at your door. I won't leave. I want more. What's up, action? Come on, say what's up,
And now, ladies and gentlemen, introducing the Channel Seed alternating starting lineups. First, for the Sioux Falls, Washington Warriors. Starting at forward, a 6-foot sophomore, number 25, Layla Berte. For the Lady Knights at guard, a 5'8" sophomore, number 5, London Backus. For the Warriors at guard, a 5'10" sophomore, number 30, Josie Beitler. For the Lady Knights at guard, a 5'8" junior, number 24, Ruby Moore. For the Warriors at forward, a 5'10" senior, number 31, Rylan Kinnan. For the Lady Knights at guard, a 5'11" senior, number 30, Sydney Terveen. For the Warriors at guard, a 6-foot senior, number 33, Dana Hart. For the Lady Knights at guard, a 5'10", senior number 31, Sadie Merriman. And for the Warriors at forward, a 6'1", sophomore number 50, Jersey Peterson. And for the Lady Knights at forward, a 6-foot sophomore number 33, Ellie Meyer.
Holly, the keys of the game first for the Warriors.
For the Warriors, they need to make sure that they play with their hands up. They need to defend O'Gorman shooters from the three-point line and the mid-range jumper in transition and in the half court. O'Gorman can hurt you in a lot of ways offensively. Washington wants to really play with their hands up. And for O'Gorman, they need to control their defensive boards. Washington has a height advantage inside. O'Gorman needs to keep them away from rebounds and extra shots.
O'Gorman has won the last 6 matchups against Washington. The winner to the state title game and taking on Brandon Valley. O'Gorman trying to three-peat. And O'Gorman wearing the green outfits to the jerseys tonight. Anytime they play a Washington, they like to wear the green. 10 seconds.
Those green uniforms pay homage to when O'Gorman was St. Catherine's. When they became O'Gorman, they wanted to keep some of that color. St. Catherine's was green and gold.
Nice.
And at the time, they were just the only 2 high schools in Sioux Falls. So their rivalry goes back a long way.
Trevine with the basket for the Knights. And it is Merman with the foul. Just like what we saw with Brandon Valley, O'Gorman does the same thing. Constant pressure. Full length of the floor. Blocked by Meyer. And Ellie will bring it out on the chase. Merman, 3! Merman with her second 3 of the tournament. And the steal by Backus. Now Washington's going to run. Ruby Moore is going to pick up the foul.
Right away, a lot of up and down. I also want to correct myself because I said the wrong thing earlier. It was Cathedral of St. Joseph.
That's right.
So much information overload here, Craig.
Some great history with Cathedral and the Knights, Washington. Backus, 3. Timeout, Washington. An 8-0 run to start the game for the 2-time defending champs.
O'Gorman shooting it a little bit better than they were yesterday, coming out firing. We talked at the outset one of the keys for Washington would be to defend the shooters from the 3. And in transition, you see here Backus, a 34% three-point shooter on the year, getting her feet set, finding a little room and rhythm, knocking it down. O'Gorman playing with a lot of confidence here at the beginning of the game.
Throughout the whole season, O'Gorman has been changing every other game with Hayden Weber and London Backus as the starting guards. Last night it was Hayden's turn. Tonight it is London's turn, but you'll see a lot of both throughout the tournament.
I know, I sometimes mistake one for the other. Both sophomores, excellent athletes, good players.
Here's Harp. Expect Harp to be getting a lot of touches tonight. She's going to go to the line. And Ellie Meyer with the foul.
Really hard to stop when she gets that deep. Meyer doesn't have much of a chance there.
Dana went 6 for 6 from the line last night. At 27 points last night. Turbine, step back 3. Dana Harp at 6 foot. Certainly could play point guard if you want.
Good spot for a trap there by the Knights.
Oh, right through the legs of Berthe.
They've got Harp to pick it up along that sideline, which acts as a third defender. Hard pass to make out of that trap.
And that will stay with the Knights.
Looks like it's off the foot of Berthe.
Last time these two teams met, mid-February, O'Gorman won it 84-58. Tipped by Trevine and Hart. Oh, can't finish. Blocked by Meyer. And Meyer with another block. That was on Hart. More pull-up. Double team on Beitler. That's what O'Gorman does, just constant pressure in your face. That time, It is Kennett with the basket.
Good pass ahead. Washington needed to see another one go through the basket, being down 10-2.
Ruby Moore, that's her 5th three-point shot made in the tournament. It'll go to Washington. Pressure is the key for the Knights, and they have started out with some big-time pressure.
As much as you have accomplished, there are times you'd rather not go it alone. While you determine what direction you go, we're here to help along the way. So go. Go with community. Go with neighbors. Go with understanding. Go with support.
I'm Craig Maddock, along with Holly Severson. Washington and O'Gorman. O'Gorman now 69-1 in the past 3 seasons up to today, and a couple of state titles. Rebound by Turbine.
With that one loss to Brandon Valley early in the season, had a 50-game win streak.
Anybody on the court for O'Gorman can hit the jump shot. That's a 2 by Ruby. 7 points for the junior.
Yeah, back-to-back buckets by Moore. Have to have a hand in her face. Such a high percentage shooter.
Merman tied up. The motto of the Knights is pressure is a privilege. How ironic that the pressure just keeps coming.
What kind of pressure are we talking about? Yeah, to have a target on your back all season does take a toll, but that's where they want to be, and they're used to that. They're used to winning. It's nothing new for them. They usually get the other team's very best game.
Moore. Oh, Ruby with her second tray. 10 for Ruby in the first 4 minutes of the game. Turbine will take it. Merman, floater. And that's going to go on Ellie Meyer, that foul. Check that Merman. She'll get her second foul.
There's a lot of contact there as kids going for that rebound.
Lucy Kazera in for the Knights. And for Washington, it's Lauren Kennett. Baseball pass.
Great catch.
Works. Harp, her first basket.
See Beitler there, just kind of her feet just kind of came out from under her in that closeout.
Josie's first foul.
Josie Beitler, second. Team 2.
Rylan Kennett is in. You got the Kennett sisters in there. long history of sisters
Yes,
for Sioux Falls, Washington.
all kinds of sisters.
Turn around by Meyer. Ellie with her first. All 5 starters now, Holly, have scored.
So O'Gorman sharing the ball in the half court and the full court. Getting what they want here on offense. Harp scores a much needed basket there in the lane for the Warriors. O'Gorman continuing to push even on made basket. They like to play fast. They like the frenetic pace. It lends to their strength. They're an athletic team.
I like the term frenetic.
It is frenetic, little frazzly frenetic.
Beitler with 3. She's number 2 on the squad in 3-point shots made. Warriors with a little bit of a defensive stop and jump ball. Yes.
Layla Berte will check back into the game. Josie Beitler.
That 3 was actually by McKean there of Washington. Her first of the game.
Beitler and Berte back in for Washington. O'Gorman sets up that full court press so quickly on any missed shot.
Like a lot like what we saw out of Brandon earlier. They don't take a lot of time to get set up, and then even off made baskets on offense, they're looking to push.
Ladisaw with a great tip away. Stays with the Warriors. Harp back in.
And you can see how the pace and the tone that O'Gorman is setting with their defense gets Washington a little out of sorts, gets their ball handlers a little too rushed, not real sharp on their passing. O'Gorman able to get their hands on balls.
London Backus back in for the Knights. Here's Berte. Harp. And Berte fouled. Ooh, and Meyer's going to pick her second foul. And I mean, O'Gorman has Merman and Meyer now with 2 fouls apiece here in the first quarter. You don't want them to ring up a third. And here comes Awel Okoye. She'll be coming in the game here in a moment. We have not seen Okoye didn't see her in the game yesterday. And the bank for the free throw by Berte.
We talked about sisters earlier. Awel comes from a long line of Okoye sisters.
Is there 4 Okoyes? There's 3 or 4.
She's the 4th, and then you've got a brother, also Okoye. So it's Abuk, Awadi, Awang, and then Awel.
Give the block to Terveen, but it stays with the Warriors.
And the Okoyes, have to mention, all good players, great kids.
Quick release. What a nice rebound offensively by Harp. She'll go to the line.
A very determined Dana Harp trying to create extra possessions for her team. Goes up amongst, looks like about 3 Knights there. Bring that one down. Get herself a trip to the foul line.
Washington brings in Ellie McKeon. Seven for Harp. Kazera has it taken away. Berthe. And down low, great basket by Harp.
Nice work by the Warriors, moving the ball with the pass to create themselves an open shot.
Down by 4. O'Gorman is in a 2.5-minute scoring drought. Washington's on an 8-0 run. Rebound by Peterson. Oh, all alone. At the buzzer for Kennett. The Warriors on a 10-0 run to end the first quarter.
It's not just about making a living. It's about upholding a way of life. We are connected to this land, committed to the future. Bank West.
Reading opens every door to learning, opportunity, and understanding. The South Dakota Department of Education is strengthening literacy outcomes for students across our state, helping educators connect classroom instruction to the science of how children learn to read and write. Through professional support and shared resources, schools are building strong foundation in literacy for every learner. South Dakota Department of Education, learning, leadership, service.
As we get rolling here, the second quarter, Washington is on a 10-0 run. Meanwhile, O'Gorman has not scored in the last 2.5 minutes. Moore, nice floater. Moore may have been the last one to score for the night. She's at 12. Well, a lot of good ball movement here this time by Washington, and the pass fake by Beitler. She'll take it in for a layup. She's got 5.
Took a minute for the Warriors to get it going offensively. They're now using spacing and the pass to create shots for themselves, that time in transition.
Ruby found a way to slice her way through for 2.
Yeah, I feel like we just keep saying it over and over. It's just a kid that you cannot give any space to anywhere on the floor.
7th turnover by Washington. Warriors bring in Lauren Kennett.
Moore right now with 12 points on just six shots. She's 2 of 3 from the 3-point line, 5 of 6 from the field.
Oh, tough bounce pass.
And timing just a little bit off. Warriors take advantage, able to come up with that ball. Looking to pass through the press.
Jumper by Kennett. Oh, all alone is Backus. London has 5 points.
Yeah, she averages 6 on the year. Shoots 51% from the floor. Another solid guard for the Knights.
Berthe. Layla's first basket of the game. Doesn't take long for the Knights to get down to the other end. And at the line will be Ellie Meyer. And it was on jersey Peterson.
First, team 1, 2 shots for Ellie Meyer.
Ellie Meyer did not get to the free throw line last night. For Washington, McKeon back in. Ladishaw. Coach Parrish going pretty deep on his bench here tonight.
Yeah, and you can hear the kids as they're coming in, getting organized in their press offense. They know that it's coming off that made free throw. And here comes the trap. Oh, Harp able to drive through it.
Drew the foul.
Coach Colesrud not in love with that call.
Number 33.
Oh, Ellie Meyer, that's her third. That's a big foul with still 5:40 to go in the second quarter. And Meyer's going to come out. Meyer comes out for O'Gorman, and in is Hayden Weber.
Sometimes those fouls, we call those just being in the wrong place at the wrong time. You may or may not have touched her. Harp loses her balance, whether or not she was fouled or not. It's not really on her. That's what the official calls. Certainly a loss for O'Gorman. Meyer with 3 fouls now on the bench.
Moore got her own rebound. Picked up her own missed shot. Jump ball. Washington ball. Beitler.
Should be O'Gorman's ball. I think it's O'Gorman's ball, actually.
There you go.
There you go. Good job by Washington getting it through that backside screen.
Berthe will pick up her first foul.
Number 25, Layla Berthe.
That's good team defense, not only by Washington, but also by the Washington bench. I don't know if you saw Coach Hess there jumping up, calling out those screens. O'Gorman is known for those backside screens, reversing the ball to three-point shooters. Washington has certainly seen that. The 2 times they played them during the regular season, have scouted that out and now trying to take that away from the Knights.
Rylan Kennett in. Merman with 5 points. All the scoring amongst the 5 starters for O'Gorman.
Both teams shooting very high percentage. O'Gorman up over 45%. Washington right at 44.
Ruby with the pull-up. Jump ball.
You know, and that shot there, for more people might think that's not a good one, but for her, it is.
Timeout.
Powering the possibilities of tomorrow starts today. For our homes, our farms, our businesses. That's why our Touchstone Energy Cooperative continually plans for the future by utilizing and sourcing safe, reliable power for the next generation. So we can power possibilities long into the future. Touchstone Energy Cooperatives, powering possibilities.
What does primary care mean to us? At Sanford Health, it means being there when and where you need it most. It means building a relationship, because when a provider really knows you, they can deliver the best care for every aspect of your health and your life. So what does primary care mean for you? It means understanding your health for today and for where you're headed next. It means a lifetime of care for a lifetime of you.
Gorman bench just getting settled here. The strengths for Sioux Falls O'Gorman, the ability to press, run in transition, and play fast. That's what they want to do. At times, we have seen that run real well tonight. Let's see here. Here's transition. Moving fast. Normally doesn't take a long time for them to take a shot. This time Washington with The steal.
Yeah, good steal there by Beitler. Reading that little baseline cut. Last possession, Washington was able to reverse the ball and get an open three in the corner. Let's see if they can do that again on this trip.
Stays with the Warriors.
Did get a shot. Berthe not usually shooting away from the basket. More of an inside type player.
The quick toss by Kennett. Up to Terveen. Sydney with her second basket.
Yes, Terveen with the basket and Moore with her hands on that play as well, feeding it ahead to the sprinting Terveen.
Berthe. And Berthe with the basket.
Great decision there
She's got
by
5.
Layla, yes. Catching it in a stance and putting it on the floor where she's a little more comfortable close to the basket. She's got a height advantage on Gorman there.
Berthe with a rebound. It's her first rebound of the game.
Ball's a little sticky right now for the Warriors. Need to look to move it a little quicker side to side. Make that defense shift.
Jump ball. Coach Colesrud was trying to get a timeout, but jump ball's called. It will go to O'Gorman anyway. O'Gorman has been to the girls' state basketball tournament 17 years in a row. That one's thrown away.
That's crazy when you think about it. It's not easy to make the tournament and to do it 17 times in a row. That's just a sign of a really great program. A lot of kids that work hard, coaches that have been together. This group, Colesrud Mathis and Coach Crystal Richter, have been together around 20 years.
Underneath, and it is Jersey Peterson with the chance for the three-point play.
Jersey Peterson celebrates and pokes Harp in the eye. Hopefully she can recover soon. Boink. Yes. Great little inside pass there. Oh! I love you, but hey, can you not poke me in the eyes?
Oh! Berthe.
Berthe again playing her role, doing her thing around the basket. Big lift for the Warriors.
Strong drive. Oh, strong one by Merman.
Yeah, it's tough defense there by Kennett. Just a better shot.
Back inside and tapped away by Merman. Across to Backus. Deep three, Kazera. Who's going to take the shot? Berthe being aggressive with it. Traveled. In for the Knights is Hayden Weber.
Weber, a sophomore, 5'11". First 5 points for the team. Also a great triple jumper. She's long and athletic in the press.
And Terveen travels.
Terveen trying to find the seam there with the dribble.
Beitler in.
Yeah, Washington there just did a good job collapsing, kind of squeezing her into that travel.
Well, the few times the Knights not pressuring full court. Going that little 1-3-1 zone. Beitler double teamed. The kick. Kennett. Almost the same number of shots have been taken between these two clubs. Just a few more free throws by Washington, but for the most part, it's just a 5-point game right now.
Yeah, both shooting in the 40% from the floor.
Harp. Hey, going to the line will be Lauren Kennett. And Weber picks up the foul for O'Gorman. Here's Lauren Kennett for 2. Washington went 9 of 12 from the line against Jefferson. First points of the game for Lauren Kennett. O'Gorman led by 2 at the end of the first quarter. O'Gorman, though, was on a 10-0 run late in that first quarter. O'Gorman has scored 14 points. Washington 13. Final chance, final shot opportunity for Washington. Here goes Harp. It's a 1-point ball game. The Knights, the 2-time defending champs, with the lead by 1 over Washington. Harp just waiting. She knew she was going to take it herself, take it the distance, and she sliced her way through for the 2 points. And a 1-point lead for the Knights, and Kent Colesrud, the coach of the Knights, is with Holly.
Coach Colesrud, your team certainly weathering the storm in the first half. What things did you like from your team?
Yeah, I love the energy we came out with. I thought our pressure was good. We were attacking the rim. We were hitting jump shots, playing with confidence, doing all the things good basketball teams do. So faced a little bit of adversity there, got a little bit of foul trouble, and we just weathered the storm. We'll get those kids back here and hopefully have a great second half.
Yeah, your team played tough. Good luck to you in the second half.
Thanks, Holly.
Some awards to give out when we come back.
We aren't meant to be still. And while you determine the direction you'll go, we're just here to help you along the way. So go. Go with experience. Go with teamwork. Go with neighbors. Go with integrity.
You hear about work-life balance like it's a big equation you have to find the answer to. But I think it's much simpler than that. So simple it was right in front of us. Start with the life you want, and everything else will follow.
At Southeast Technical College, you won't just study for a career, you'll live it. Training in classrooms that look, feel, and operate just like the real world. Because the best way to do what you learn is to learn by doing. Get your degree, get to work at Southeast Technical College.
Ladies and gentlemen, please direct your attention to center court tonight. Tonight, ladies and gentlemen, it is our honor to announce the recipient of the Larry Luchins Coach of Influence Award. The late Coach Luchins remains South Dakota's all-time leader in career victories and a true legend in high school athletics. But his legacy reached far beyond the court and into the lives and communities he touched. He will especially be remembered for fostering unity and meaningful relationships with his Native American friends, connections that led to the expansion of the Lakota Nation Invitational Tournament. The Larry Luchins Coach of Influence Award challenges coaches to go beyond the X's and O's, to lead with purpose, character, and lasting impact on the people they serve. The recipient receives a handcrafted Native American medallion, similar to the one Coach Luchins proudly wore. This year's award, presented by Larry's son Lance and his wife Renee, goes to Coach Brandon Candlin of the St. Thomas More Cavaliers. Over the past 26 years, Coach Candlin has racked up 455 wins and led the St. Thomas More Cavaliers to 7 state championships, placing him among the most accomplished coaches in South Dakota girls basketball history. But when you talk to his former players and coaches, they don't bring up his accolades. They talk about his character and how he motivated and inspired those around him to reach their full potential on and off the court. That kind of influence lasts far longer than any championship banner ever will. Ladies and gentlemen, congratulations, Coach Candlin. Ladies and gentlemen, once again, please direct your attention to midcourt. Presenting tonight's awards, the Assistant Executive Director of the South Dakota High School Activities Association, Mr. Randy Soma. Tonight, the NFOA and 25-year official awards. Congratulations to Brian Gary, ladies and gentlemen. Brian graduated from Armour High School and attended the University of South Dakota, where he got a degree in business administration with an emphasis in mathematics. It was at the university where Brian met Doug Martin, who was the men's basketball coach at the time and taught sports officiating classes. He began officiating intramurals and City League in Vermilion while attending the U. He's been officiating high school basketball for 28 years and just completed his 25th year on the gridiron. Athletics has always been and continues to be an important part of Brian's life. Ladies and gentlemen, congratulations, this year's NFOA and 25-year official award winner, Mr. Brian Gary. For a complete bio, please see the program of this year's state tournament.
Hey, congratulations to Brandon and to Brian. Two great guys in what they do for the kids. Still to come, highlights and stats from the first half. A tight one here, our semifinal match between the number 2 seed Knights and the number 3 seed Warriors.
South Dakota, a state shaped by its people. It's more than a place, it's opportunity waiting to be realized. At South Dakota State University, opportunity is turned into progress. Through research, education, and a community that inspires, SDSU drives the future of this state. We're not just here, we're taking action with purpose, trust, and impact. This is SD State.
Our Peterson Farm seed reps, real-life seed heroes, well, they've been known to go the extra mile, literally thousands of extra miles every year. And when they're not driving gravel roads, they're out walking fields and sampling soil. When time is the enemy, they're there to save what's left of the day. Are all Peterson Farm seed reps seed heroes? I guess that's a yes. Peterson Farm Seed, we're that kind of seed company.
For your little ones and your biggest joys, or your forever friends and your fur kids too. For your better half or your all-time bestie. For the reasons you smile, there's coverage. With dental and vision insurance from Delta Dental of South Dakota and Delta Vision.
Don't be fooled by that beat-up old cap. Its faded crown represents the tireless work of America's farmers and ranchers. Its sturdy brim, their dedication to providing our nation with a safe, affordable food source. From sunup to sundown, they're turning quarters into the dollars that drive our rural economy. So we'd like to tip our hat to them. Farmers Union Insurance, protecting those that protect America's food source.
Highlights from the first half between O'Gorman and Washington. It was O'Gorman getting out to an 8-0 lead early on. Merman and Moore, and later Backus would get trays. But Washington didn't necessarily be shooting from the outside. A lot of their baskets in the paint.
Yeah, it took them a minute to get comfortable against the pressure that O'Gorman was bringing in the backcourt. But once they did, they were able to pass through the press and advance the ball. You see there Kennett with the layup on the throw ahead. And then we have Beitler with another. They were able to do that in the full court and half court. See there Peterson also with the basket. It's definitely a tight game. Washington holding the advantage on the rebounds. They are +10 with 8 of those being offensive. Harp's got 13 points and 10 boards in for O'Gorman, shooting 42%, but just 4 of 14 from the three-point line. Ruby Meyer with 14, and a stat that's not on there that was a big one was Ellie Meyer for O'Gorman with 3 fouls in that first half. Look to see her return the second half and help her shore up the defense in the paint for the Knights.
O'Gorman's biggest lead has been 14. It was a 2-point lead at the end of the first quarter for O'Gorman, and right now it's 1. There's a travel.
Washington staying in that zone, really extending. O'Gorman able to pass through it there. Ruby Meyer with the quick 2. I'm sorry, Ruby Moore with the quick 2.
Knights in that 2-3 zone. Ruby Moore up on top, along with Terveen. Terveen able to knock that away. Moore hits Terveen. That's great awareness.
It is, and more than one dribble from Berthe, maybe too many. O'Gorman able to scoop that up and throw it ahead for a layup. O'Gorman really looking to contain the dribble and attacking in that zone.
Berthe able to run that one down. Had it blocked by Merman. Harp. And at the line, it's going to be Kennett. Boy, there was a lot of...
A little bit of a wrestling match in there.
Traffic galore down low under the back of the basket. Backus with her second foul.
You know, there's a lot of players out there that wouldn't be able to handle splitting a starting role with a teammate. Backus and Weber able to do that for the Knights. Obviously has worked for them this season. They've had a very successful year. Both sophomores.
Kennett with her first, check that, 6 points for Ryland.
Just a credit to those two for being great teammates.
Reach-in foul on McKeon.
Foul number 40, McKeon. Her first team foul.
Here, Coach Kohlsrud emphasized to his team the need to attack the paint. He doesn't want them settling for shots. Probably take that one, though.
That's her second tray of the game.
Good, clean, open three like that. It's a great shot for Backus.
It was tipped by Terveen. Oh, very great move all the way. Oh, almost went down for Merman. The step back by Beitler.
Oh, yeah. And what a fake. Little ball, little chin, little eyebrow. Shake off the defense, create herself an open shot. Not very often you're going to see more off the mark like that.
Washington has not led in this game. And Harp, too strong.
Good hand there by Backus, knocking that ball away, making that shot so much more difficult for Harp.
Pace of the game slowing down a little bit. Probably that's where Washington wants to be. Timeout.
Creating a legacy means different things to everyone. For us, it's about family, watching my daughter follow in my footsteps, passing the farm under her, and working side by side every day. It's about building something that lasts. Agtegra Cooperative has been by our side through it all, supporting us from one generation to the next. Agtegra Cooperative, legacy rich, future focused for generations to come.
What does primary care mean to us? At Sanford Health, it means being there when and where you need it most. It means building a relationship, because when a provider really knows you, they can deliver the best care for every aspect of your health and your life. So what does primary care mean for you? It means understanding your health for today and for where you're headed next. It means a lifetime of care for a lifetime of you.
It's a shot of O'Gorman's head coach, along with some of his coaching staff. They've been together 20 years, has.
That's a
Coach
rarity.
Richter,
You
yes,
think about
Coach
it.
Mathis, Dan Hughes, Christian Riddell. Kohlsrud in his 28th season at O'Gorman, over 400 career wins. We talked about his 17th consecutive trip to the state tournament. He does a wonderful job of leading this program, say his assistants, makes kids and coaches feel important, and he does a good job of expressing to them how important each of their roles on the team is, and helps them buy into that, the thing that they bring to the team and how important that is.
McKeon with the foul, and Ellie Meyer with both tosses. 4 for 4 from the line. 6 points for Ellie. And Berthe can't get it. Fourth shot is blocked.
That's what the Warriors want, though. They want those shots in there. They want to be able to penetrate in the lane off the pass or dribble. It's not able to get it to fall. O'Gorman finally coming up with that D rebound.
And to travel. Nope, no good. It's the travel. Washington, 13. Both teams have shot 37 shots.
Yeah, it's very even. Two heavyweights going at it here this evening.
O'Gorman has won big the last 2 times they have met. And that will go to O'Gorman.
Yes, O'Gorman with 3 more field goals than the Warriors.
Rylan Kinnick.
The Warriors with 4 more free throws. Makes for a close game.
Rylan Kennett in for Washington. Moore is 7 of 13 from the floor. And, oh, the runner doesn't go for Harp.
That's a tough, gritty rebound there by Merman. Their vocal leader, doing a little bit of everything right now, trying to will her team through this third quarter.
Berthe on the foul, her second.
Looking for that seal inside for Meyer. Gonna pass on it this time.
Meyer with a little fade away. Berthe. She's got 9.
Good find there. Heads up play by Beitler to Berthe.
Moore. Oh, that one almost went in.
Yeah, that was a nice extra pass from Meyer up top to Moore. Anytime Ruby can get it look like that, it's a good one. This time we see Terveen with the O-board. O'Gorman really starting to toughen up on those rebounds, really going at them hard. They know they're going to have to get some to be able to pull out this game. Terveen, 4 rebounds a game to go with 18 points. She's a 71% free throw shooter.
Jersey Peterson comes in. 8 points for Sydney Terveen.
O'Gorman looking to trap. Washington able to pass. Cross court, kind of loosen that up.
Terveen will finish. And 1.
Got the basket.
See there, Terveen goes right at the body of Beitler. Able to absorb that contact, finish off the glass.
Backus in for O'Gorman. Ladishaw in for Washington. 11 for Terveen. Oh, Berthe with a nice offensive rebound. He's going to go to the line.
Yeah, you saw Peterson on the sideline catching the ball, running a little bit of that secondary break, able to get it over to Ladishaw, then to Berthe for that shot. Good teamwork there by the Warriors.
In for O'Gorman, Owell Okoye.
Yeah, O'Gorman trying to buy some time here for Meyer with just under 2 minutes to go in the third.
Berthe now double figures. She's a 10. Oh, deep three. Oh, Terveen. Of course, what is a deep three now? You think about it.
Sometimes I think, do they know that's like the CBA or D-League line, but
college or the college three.
line. I mean, if you've got the confidence, though, you've got the room, you got the rhythm, and the green light from your coach, you should shoot it with confidence. And I don't see any of those O'Gorman coaches telling them not to, so let it fly.
Lauren Kennett in for Washington. Harp, aggressive, going up against Okoye. Rylan Kennett got the rebound.
Kennett there, that's Washington's 14th offensive rebound. They're now at 35 total for the game. So O'Gorman's 20.
2 shots. Rylan Kennett.
2 for 2 today.
Yeah, one of the keys for the Knights was to control those defensive boards.
Washington is one of their last 10 field goals.
Yeah, that rebounding is helping them hang around here against the Knights.
Merman. Moore. Lost it. Berthe in for the Warriors. Gives them a little extra ball handler here late in the third quarter.
Good pressure by the Knights here in the backcourt.
And coming to the rack really quick. Rebound by Berthe.
Nice work by Berthe there.
If you're the Warriors and you get the ball on a defensive stop, you got to keep your eyes up.
Yeah,
Head
don't
on
take
the
a break.
swivel.
Don't take a break. See if Washington will play for one here. O'Gorman staying in that zone.
And this may go on Okoye.
It's Ladishaw taking it to the basket. Coming left to right.
Well, Washington certainly, they've been at the free throw line. They're now 14 of 18.
Free throw line. Ella McKeon, check in.
Yeah, O'Gorman with just 9 free throw attempts, 9 for 9. So Washington's 19th, now 15 of 19.
Last shot here for the Knights. And Hart with the foul. For Dana, her first. Oh, now it is a second. Dana Harp with 2 fouls. Berthe, Beitler, Harp have 2 fouls for Washington. Ruby Moore's first trip to the free throw line tonight.
Shoots 52% from the foul line.
18 for Moore. Time for a hee-hole. And as we go to the 4th quarter, the Knights trying to get to the championship game for the 3rd year in a row.
Since 1882, we've raised 5 generations of hardworking Americans on this land. Our great-great-grandfather believed in something simple: respect the land and it will provide. Anthem Oats, grown by us, shared with you.
Your Great Plains Case IH dealers know that hard work starts early, in the field and on the field or the court. Dedication, teamwork, pride, the values driving farmers also power South Dakota athletes. Growing crops or growing champions, it takes the same drive to succeed. Your local Great Plains Case IH dealers know the future is built by showing up day after day, ready to work, ready to win. Great Plains Case IH dealers, supporting schools, athletes, and the communities we grow.
The winner of this game gets Brandon Valley for the championship game. O'Gorman and Brandon Valley played the last 2 championship matches. O'Gorman has won those 2. Washington, they haven't been to the finals since 2023.
Last year's championship game was a thriller between O'Gorman and Brandon. Ruby Moore had some heroics at the end of that game for the Knights.
Ruby knew what she was going to do that whole time, wasn't it?
She did.
So confident on the court. And count it! Birthday, check that. That is Ladishaw. London, count the basket.
She almost surprised herself a little bit that went in. That was kind of a interesting one, kind of spun up from underneath the rim up in the. And Coy got her there on the attempt. She's going to get 1 shot. Ladishaw with 4 points on the night.
Coy with the rebound. Merman. That was Berthe with a rebound. Pull up. And a jump ball. Washington will get the ball.
Dana Hart in the game.
Boy, Coy really had changed the shot for Harp on that jumper.
Yeah, she did. Credit Kennett there for staying with the play. It's one thing to deter the shot, get 1 stop, but Washington just keeps going at the offensive glass now. 15 offensive rebounds, 38 overall to O'Gorman's 21. Again, those extra possessions allowing the Warriors to hang around in this game.
Kennett 6 for 6 from the line. Berthe with the rebound. Berthe with 5 rebounds in the game.
Nice move there by Beitler.
Taking it herself. And 1.
Beitler so smooth in transition. a little show it to you here and bring it over there for the finish on the left side, taking the contact, sending the Warrior fans into a little frenzy.
Ellie Meyer back in for the Knights. Beitler with 8 points.
Meyer back into the game for the Knights. O'Gorman looking to move the ball. Getting it to Merman.
Rebounds Kennett. Washington has not led in this game. Last time Washington had it tied with O'Gorman was at the start of the game.
Good hands by Meyer, getting in the passing lane there. O'Gorman needs more of those stops, trying to put them together with baskets. Washington really covering up that dribble drive.
The kick. Meyer for 3. Timeout. 30-second timeout. Boy, the kick out to Meyer, and Meyer had one field goal in the game, and in the corner just sits there calmly, hits the 3.
A 33% shooter from the three-point line. Great kick out, fine to the corner. She shoots it with confidence. O'Gorman certainly needing this boost from their offense at this point in the game.
That is Meyer's first three-point shot made in the tournament.
She's going to spend a lot of her time inside, but hey, we need it tonight, right? So she's got to do what her team needs. Meyer, at just a sophomore, she can play inside and out and just keep the. She's continuing to develop that range. Also, as we know, a good defender, averaging close to 2 blocks a game, 6 rebounds and 2 steals.
Washington has played with so many different players tonight, different connections, different matchups. Verte, the kick. Underneath, that's McKeon. Her first basket of the tournament.
Yeah, Verte there on that play, reversing the ball with the dribble. Comes around, gets it to Lauren Kennett, who turns a shot into a pass.
Media timeout. We'll take it.
Fans, scan the QR code on the video board for a chance to win $500 off at your local furniture market.
Educators across South Dakota are coming together to elevate, educate, and empower. This June, the Department of Education hosts the South Dakota Literacy Conference in Mitchell, a gathering dedicated to advancing the science of reading and sharing new insights into how students learn, exploring research and real-world strategies for South Dakota educators to move literacy forward for all learners. South Dakota Department of Education, learning, leadership, service.
It's not just about making a living. It's about upholding a way of life. We are connected to this land, committed to the future. Bank West.
Here's McEwen at the line. Gorman led by 2 at the end of the first quarter, led by 1 at halftime, led by 7 at the end of the third quarter. And going to the line will be Trevine. McKean
2 shots for Sydney Trevine.
with the foul, and McKean with, that's her third.
Yeah, Tervine's a dynamic scorer. She really likes catching it on the move to her left, finding that seam. She scored her 1,000th point this year for O'Gorman on senior night.
.14 for Trevine.
O'Gorman is extending that 2-3 zone just a bit.
Berthe with 10 points. Beitler with 8.
There's the middle cutter with Harp.
Oh, found space, missed it. They're going to call Ruby Moore on the foul. Ruby's second.
Ruby Moore. Her second. 15 foul.
Well, every foul by the Knights will put Washington on the free throw line for the rest of the game.
Yeah, on that play, O'Gorman fighting for that loose ball rebound. Washington again getting to it just a little quicker. Their 16th offensive rebound.
See the foul situation. Warriors with 1 team foul, the Knights with 5.
Yeah, that can really come into play here in the next couple minutes with Washington having fouls to give. And the Knights not in that situation.
Ruby Moore, and she is fouled behind the line. She's going to get 3 free throws.
Yeah, Kennett doesn't like that call, but she got her. She stepped forward into that block out. Is going to hit Ruby Moore. You got to stay on your feet there in that closeout. It's hard because you want to challenge that 3 and kind of move her off the 3-point line, but Moore's a real smart player. She gets her in the air and lets that shot go.
No. Remember the last time Ruby missed 2 free throws in a row. It's normally pretty solid. 19 for Moore. Halfway through our final quarter. Winner going to the state championship game tomorrow night.
Washington taking their time with that ball reversal. Great hands there by Merman.
And a timeout taken by Kent Colesrud. It's a full timeout. The Knights with a 4-point lead.
I can't imagine being anything other than a nurse. I'm also much more than a nurse. And working at Avera lets me find balance between the career that called me and a life that fulfills me.
Protecting crops. Agronomy Plus in Mitchell, Rock Creek in Howard, and Valley Station in Armour provide agronomy services, fertilizer products, and crop analysis systems, including Agronomy 365. This system helps manage your field's performance, supporting small-town communities while hiring and training local youth. Agronomy Plus in Mitchell, Rock Creek in Howard, and Valley Station in Armour, serving area producers and their communities.
Knights with a 4-point lead.
Gorman staying with Meyer in the game. She's playing with 4 fouls. For Washington, Beitler also with 4. She's out of the game right now.
8 to shoot. And a reach-in foul on Washington. It's on Ladishaw.
That's a tough one, yeah. Tough one for the Warriors. Work the shot clock all the way down. And then foul gives O'Gorman new life here.
Three minutes to play. Merman lost it. Went off her foot.
She's pretty determined to go left. She puts her head down. Just comes off her foot.
Washington with 2 threes in the game and a timeout by Jamie Parrish. And quite the trip for the Washington Warriors on Wednesday on their way out to get their 1 hour practice here at the Summit Arena. They get to about Hartford on their bus, and a pheasant gets in the way. And bam! So they had to wait by Hartford for another bus to pick them up. They were late to their practice. Here's the bus that picked them up, brought them out here. I did ask Coach Parrish, what is the state rule if you hit a pheasant on the road? Are you able to keep it, or do you have to throw it away?
Right.
He goes, I don't know, we couldn't find it.
It looked everywhere.
But didn't faze them at all on Wednesday.
They were still able to make it, had to move the practice time back to the end of the day. We do feel bad for that pheasant, but we're glad that no players and coaches, trainers, managers were injured in the incident.
Washington shooting 35% from the floor. That is Harp, and she had it blocked. Berthe with 10, Kennett with 10, Harp with 13, and she'll go to the line.
Great inbounds pass to Berthe, and then great entry pass down there to Harp. Harp able to catch the ball and get her shoulders and arms underneath Sadie Merman.
21 of 27 free throws. 21 points from free throws. And in the game, it's McKean. O'Gorman trying to three-peat. They are 69-1 in their last 3 seasons. Drive by Backus, blocked by Berthe. Berthe going up against a couple of Knights, and she loses the ball. Beitler in for Washington.
Good no call there by Berthe.
They're bringing her back. Beitler not going in. Instead, they'll bring in Jersey Peterson.
Yeah, she's frustrated, but similar to the play where you bounce it off your foot, sometimes you just don't get your legs under you when you're going up. Gotta work on gathering to finish. O'Gorman here a little out of sorts in the half court.
Meyer, oh, big
Really taking her time.
4-point lead, less than 90 seconds to play. Harp. Stolen jersey, Peterson. Timeout. Washington.
30-second timeout.
Good rebound there by Peterson. Putting the Warriors at 60 points, down just 2 with 1:09 to go.
Will he get the shot of the game? Warriors still have 2 fouls to give before they would force the Knights to the free throw line. Will O'Gorman try to just keep hanging on to the ball here? Use shot clock, and there's a foul by Washington. And that's on Berthe. And for Berthe, her 4th.
Yeah, and that's Washington's 4th team foul. O'Gorman already at 5.
Berthe with 3. We have 3 team fouls for, or 3 fouls for Berthe. Backus with Terveen. Here's Moore. Probably who you want have the ball for the Knights is Ruby Moore.
Yeah, they're getting close to 10 on the
shoot.
shot clock.
Guarded by Hart. Big shot by Moore. 4-point game. And a timeout by the Warriors. Timeout, Warriors. Shot doesn't count.
60-second timeout call.
You can see O'Gorman with the 3 timeouts left, Washington with just 1.
Any foul by anybody.
Right. Unheld balls, 2 possessions, yes, goes in O'Gorman's favor. So I would expect to see some free throws here, more than likely, in the next 19 seconds.
Just an update. Washington does have Beitler with 4. Berthe with 3 fouls. Ruby Moore waiting until she absolutely had to.
Yeah, Ruby Moore gets the bounce there. She seems to play her best when the lights are brightest. She likes the ball in those situations. Very confident in her game, has the ability to get in the lane, stop and pop.
Warriors need a quick possession. The corner. Here comes McKeen. McKeen with a basket. Timeout, Washington.
Timeout. 2 falls, Washington.
See Kenneth there with the attempt and the miss. And it's McKeen coming in, scooping that up. Still with 6 seconds left on the clock.
Last timeout for Washington.
You would expect to see Washington with a ton of pressure here on this inbounds play. O'Gorman's going to have to get the ball in. Washington more than likely try to get a steal really quick, and if they can't, they've got to foul. Try to extend the game. credit Washington in their effort on the offensive glass tonight. 19 offensive rebounds to go with 26 defensive. That's for a total of 45 to O'Gorman's 23. Certainly helped them to stay in this game and have a shot with just 6 seconds left. And for the Knights, they've shot 42% from the floor, more with 23, looking to close it out.
Berthe will guard the inbounds. Merman will inbound for the Knights. To Backus.
Nice little spin there by Backus.
As Kennett missed Backus.
Yeah, whether she meant to do it or not, she actually spun away from the defense, took a little more time off the clock.
Backus can pretty much wrap it up here with 2 free throws.
She's a 58% free throw shooter, averaging 6 points on the year.
First trip to the line in the tournament for Backus. This next free throw can pretty much ice it. Sioux Falls O'Gorman is going back to the tournament championship for the 3rd year in a row. They're going to try to three-peat tomorrow night.
The Warriors will be in the 3rd and 4th place game. What a game! Make some noise for both teams. What a great game tonight.
66-62. O'Gorman.
Championship game at 6:45.
Now 22-1 on the season, and they'll take on the undefeated and top seed Brandon Valley Lynx tomorrow night. O'Gorman's only loss was to Brandon Valley back in December. O'Gorman led the whole way. And Holly is with Kent Colesrud.
Coach Colesrud, your team certainly weathered the storm tonight. Ruby Moore making big plays at the end of the game. What did you like from your team in that stretch?
Well, yeah, you hit it exactly right. Ruby Moore made huge plays, big shots for us. That one at the end there was critical. Just a lot of kids stepping up and making big plays. Give credit to Sioux Falls, Washington. They battled hard. Every time we get a little bit of separation from them, it seems like they get back in the game. They did a tremendous job on the boards, but really proud of our kids. They were resilient. We fought through some adversity, through some foul trouble, stepped up and made big plays when we needed to make big plays. And London Backus making 2 big-time pressure free throws. So really proud of them. We're going to enjoy it for a little bit, and we got to regroup, play a really good Brandon Valley team in the championship.
Do your best to enjoy it tonight, and good luck tomorrow.
Thanks, Holly.
Back to you, Craig.
It'll be the 3rd year in a row. O'Gorman, Brandon Valley for the championship. We've got more to come back here in Rapid City.
Is it the competition that keeps bringing you back? The long-standing rivalries? Or is it seeing friends again and cheering on your favorite team? At First Dakota, we're here for all of it. We appreciate the fans, the players, the coaches and officials, the concessions crew. The shared community experience is part of what makes life here great. And we're here for all of it. See you at the game.
Powering the possibilities of tomorrow starts today. For our homes, our farms, our businesses. That's why our Touchstone Energy Cooperative continually plans for the future by utilizing and sourcing safe, reliable power for the next generation. So we can power possibilities long into the future. Touchstone Energy Cooperatives, powering possibilities.
South Dakota, a state shaped by its people. It's more than a place, it's opportunity waiting to be realized. At South Dakota State University, opportunity is turned into progress. Through research, education, and a community that inspires, SDSU drives the future of this state. We're not just here, we're taking action with purpose, trust, and impact. This is SD State.
A fun semifinal matchup here, our second game of the night, and it's O'Gorman winning the game to go to the championship. And highlights of the second half. O'Gorman got up by 14, they got up by 7, but Washington just kept coming back and back. They would get within 2, but they couldn't get any further because of big plays by Ruby Moore and Sydney Turbine, and even London Backus with a couple of big threes in the game today.
Right, Craig. O'Gorman had such good balance. Backus 10 points more, 23, making that big shot when they really needed it in the lane. Turbine with 15, Merman 7, Meyer 11, playing through the end of that second half with the 4 fouls. The biggest difference you're going to see is with those rebounds, right? 45 to 23, usually that would tilt to the direction of the team with that rebounding differential, but O'Gorman shooting 22 of 52, knocking down 16 of 18 free throws, just enough to put them past Washington and head to the championship game tomorrow night.
We'll wrap things up when we come back.
You live life on the move. While you determine what direction that may be, we're here to help along the way. So go. Go with values. Go with friends. Go with support. Go with convenience.
Bioethanol supplies more than just energy. It creates jobs in rural communities. It drives demand for local corn. It provides opportunities for family farms to thrive. To ensure agriculture plays a leading role in the efforts to decarbonize and transition energy, bioethanol remains at the forefront of a pursuit for a cleaner, brighter future for all Americans. Learn how at sdethanol.com.
At Muth Electric, we don't just power projects, we empower people. We invest in training, mentorship, and career development opportunities at every level. Because strong careers build strong communities. Your future is bright with Muth Electric. Muth Electric now hiring.
Lake Area Technical College provides hands-on learning and practical experience in real-world environments. Prepare for a career right out of school from the moment you step on campus for an education that can really be put to work. Lake Area Tech is the start of something new.
We are wrapping up 2 days of the South Dakota High School Girls AA Basketball Tournament. We're ready for the Consolation Championship and the championship tomorrow night. Here's what our schedule will look like tomorrow. We'll get together at noon Central, 11 a.m. Mountain for the 7th place game with T-Area and Jefferson, followed by Rapid City, Stevens, and Mitchell for the Consolation Championship.
Then the championship bracket We're going to start with Aberdeen Central and Sioux Falls, Washington, 6 p.m. Central, 5 p.m. Mountain Time for that third place game. And then the championship, the rematch, Brandon Valley and O'Gorman, tomorrow night, 7:45 Central, 6:45 Mountain Time.
Can't wait. For Holly Severson and the men and women of South Dakota Public Broadcasting, I'm Craig Maddock. So long from Rapid City.